Hey, welcome back to edtech by Meera. And today you are going to see or learn how to do string slicing in Python. So let's see how it is done. Why do you need to do a slicing of a string? What is the procedure? This is in situations when you want to get a resultant string and extract some portion of the original string. This is when you do the slicing, because string does not mutate, does not change, but you can create another resultant string with the characters of your choice, which is extracted and derived from the original string. And this is a situation when you perform slicing on a string. So usually when you perform slicing on a string, you have square brace, you have a string followed by square braces or bracket, and inside that you have a start index and you have an end index. And sometimes you also do, because if you just write start and end index, where the start index is inclusive, that means if you want to extract from zero index, means all the way from zero, and if you want to extract end index is, let's say, 10, so 10 is inclusive, so it will stop at index 9. You have to keep that in mind. And then next, if you just write start and end, by default the increment, there will not be an increment, consecutive characters will be considered while extracting in the increasing order. But if you write step, which is a third parameter, then the incrementing will be there based on whatever you say. So for example, if you say incrementing is 2, so it will leave out one alternate index and then go to the next one. So on and so forth. So let's see a few examples here in order to understand better. I consider a string with the name of X and has characters with a value called edtech by Meera. And remember, in a string, everything counts as a character. Like for example, the space in between C and B, between Y and M, or 1 respectively. And like for example, after A you have an exclamation mark, which is also treated as a character with an index position. Here the character E has an index of 0, and the character exclamation mark has an index of 14. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. I'm also calculating the index for the space, mind you. So now I consider a resultant string with the name of result. So equal to, I'm performing the slicing here with the standard formula which is required. So X and then the square bracket. So the first one, index 4. So I want to slice from index 4 until index 7. And then let's print out the result and see. Print the result and see what answer we get, what resultant string we get. Remember, index 4 will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Index 4 will be C. C will be in index 4, right? Because E is at index 0. So if you increment like that, increase order of the index 0 is E, index 1 is D, index 2 is T, index 3 is E, index 4 is C. Index 4 is C, index 5 is H, space is index 6, B is index 7. So I said end index is exclusive, so B you cannot calculate. So index C will be the 6 will be the space. So the extracted one will contain from C until H only, right? Because the rest is space. So let's see. So I'm just writing that as a note so that you remember which index is inclusive and which index is exclusive. The start is inclusive, end index is exclusive. Print the result. Let's see what's happening. Oh, there's an error here. I know why. Okay. It should not be a comma. The start, the end, and the step, all of these parameters should be separated by a colon and not a comma. As by mistake I've written, it's a typo error. I'm sorry. I was thinking colon and I'm writing comma. That's my mistake. Sorry about that. Should always be a colon. For slicing, it's never a comma, mind you. Don't make the mistake that I did. Typo mistakes are very dangerous in Python. Ha ha ha. That's me. I always make typo mistakes. Okay. I just purposely kept this mistake here for you guys to see so that you don't make a similar mistake. You know, it's like a psychological thing. If you see another person making a mistake and you'll remember it and you won't make that mistake. That's why. Okay. There you go, CH. So now you know how you extracted CH from here. Yeah? So next, consider more examples. Let's consider some more indexing at different positions. Now, before doing that, I need to comment out. So I'm going to comment out these results so that it doesn't interfere with my current result, with my other results. So I'm just writing the note, separated by colon, not comma, just for you to remember. Not comma, not zero, nothing else. Okay. So let's consider some more index positions. It's quite interesting. And remember, the index position will always be in increasing order. Okay. Let's consider another resultant string. Call it result. X is always the string followed by the square braces and then the parameters, the start and the end. So let's consider the start index as 2, end 1 as 10. Start index 2 will be T, the character T. End position at 10 will be M. But remember, 10 is exclusive until 9. And index 9 is got the space. So it will be only starting from 2. So from T, tech, by. Yeah? You have to do it manually so that you remember also. Before seeing the console, make sure that you do it manually. Write it on a piece of paper, like write the whole string on a piece of paper, write the index below the characters, and then you perform the slice manually, and then you do it on the code editor, and then you tally the results. So if you make a mistake, you know where you've gone wrong, which index you have calculated wrong, the start, end, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Tech by. Yeah, as mentioned, I've just explained. So this is the way you need to do. So this is quite clear here. So I purposely took you should always take a complicated string. Don't take like always hello and stuff like, because if you take a complicated one with characters and space and stuff like that, then you will learn better with confusing strings. If you have some more confusing string, use that. The more confusing, the better, the more you learn. And then, as I said, do it manually and then do it on your code editor. So here I want to consider another index position. Let's say I want to slice from start, but I don't want to write my start index because it's just understood. So if it is understood, if I just write colon and then the end index, it's understood, it will slice from index 0. So I can say result equal to x, square braces, just I write colon, and then the end one, 6. So that means it will start slicing from index 0, which is E, all the way until index 7, but 7 exclusive. Now at index 7, you have character B, which is exclusive. So it will cut until 6, which is space. So edtech. Cool, right? edtech, H is at character 5. Character 5 is at, index 5 has character H, space is 6, so edtech. Clear enough. Quite simple. So this is where you want to slice from the start and you don't mention the start index. Now consider another one when you want to slice all the way until the end, but you don't write all the way until the end of the string, but no need to write the end index. So then, considering that it's a very long string, of course, so what you do is you just write the start index and then put the colon. Just give it a skip to the end index. So it's automatically understood. It will slice all the way till then. Like here, X, and then the square bracket, and then I write starting index 7, then the colon. So if I don't write the end index, it's understood. It will go all the way until the end, which is in this case exclamation mark, the character, right? So starting from index 7, so at index 7 you have the character B. So it will go from B. So by meera, the result should be, if I do it manually. There you go, by meera with an exclamation, of course. So now you understood. This is quite simple and cool, right? Let's consider more index positions. What if you want to do a negative indexing to do the slicing? So let's see that. Now remember, when you're doing negative indexing, the last character will follow index -1. When you're doing by negative indexing, remember the last character has index -1, and then you move in the reverse direction from right to left, so -1, -2, -3. The movement will be different. The direction will be different. So let's say I want to make another resultant string by slicing from start index -5 and end index -2. So -2. So -1 is the exclamation, -2 is 8, -3 R, -4 E, -5 is E. Yeah. So from start -5 means E. Then there's another E, -4. -3 is R. And -2 end exclusive, so until -3. So you should get E, E, R, right? There you go. E, E, R. So first in negative indexing, first and index it the way I said in the reverse direction. In the reverse directions, put -1, -2, -3 from the tail end of the string, and then you move towards the right. Yeah, like -5, then after that -4 is in the right, -3 is in the right, remember? So do exactly like that. If you still cannot follow, if you want me to show you how to do it manually on a piece of paper with arrow marks, I can do that in my part 2. I suppose I should be doing that, so I will call this as part 1, and in part 2 I will show you the same thing, doing it manually on a piece of paper, not using the code editor, so that you can understand better. Okay, let's consider another one in which you have you are moving from index -2 to -7. Let's see what's happening. Not getting a result. Why? Because remember, when you're doing negative indexing, it shouldn't be like, it should be increasing order always. So here, if you know, negative -5 is smaller than -2. 5 is greater than 2, but -5 is smaller than -2. Remember that in simple mathematics, arithmetic. So when you're doing the slicing, it should be, start should be smaller, end should be bigger. So that's why I couldn't do what I wanted to do just now. Whether it's positive number or negative indexing or positive indexing, always remember slicing will be done. The first start will be smaller, end will be bigger. So this is clearer now. Now let's consider another index position. Sorry, the replit can be quite irritating and annoying at times. Okay, come back to the main.py. I want to consider some more examples to give you here. In the next example, I want to give a bit more complicated. And then for all those who staying subscribed, a big thank you. I am hopefully going to hit 500 subscribers, and do help me in hitting my 500 subscribers. And for those who are not yet subscribed, do remember to slash the subscribe button to help me to get to that 500 target, hopefully, and also to help you reach your target of learning Python in an easy route. I want to teach Python or coding or any language in a way that even babies can understand. That's all my motive, nothing else. Okay, this one we've done already, -5, -2. I just repeated it, explained already. -5 is lesser than -2. Always start is lower than the end index, whether it is negative indexing or positive indexing. So here we can get the result. Then we consider another index position. There you go. Here, why? If you take the negative index as -1, then you will get one more character. After R is A, era. And okay, then consider another index position, -6 as start, -1 as end. So -6 and -1, where -6 is the start, -6 mind you. So -6 meera. Why? Because -1 was exclamation mark and -6 ends at M. So it will travel all the way from -1 to -6. Let's consider another index position. Okay, starts from 0, ends at index 14, and the step, remember the step, the increment 2. By default, increment 1 meaning consecutive. So here it's not consecutive, it will leave aside 1, alternate. Just keep that in mind. Print the result. So here we are doing positive indexing. Starting from 0 means E, starting from E, yeah, and then all the way till the end, but alternate. So D will be left out, then T, E will be left out, then C, H will be left out, then space, B will be left out, then Y, and so on. So after leaving all the alternatives indexes, this is the result you get. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay. Result. Okay. From -2, the start index, then -7, the end index. Okay. Guess why you're not getting the result? What did I say? The slicing has to happen from smaller to bigger. So that's the reason it's not happening. -2 is bigger than -7. You know that for negative integers, right? So that's the reason when the start is bigger, end is smaller, it doesn't happen. The procedure doesn't happen. Just purposely showed you. Okay, let's consider one more example here before I finish off. Okay, positive indexing. Index 14 as the start, 0 as the end. What's happening? No result. Why? Same logic follows. The start index 14, the integer is bigger than the end index. That is also wrong. So this rule you have to keep that in mind. Now, let's see, what if you want to reverse a string completely? Like, instead of hi, you want to get IH. Instead of meera, you want to get arim. You know, like a reflective image in the reverse direction. So what do? The mirror, exactly the mirror reflection, the reverse way, reverse order. So in that case, you need to write, no need of writing the start, no need to write the index, end, no need to write, just write the followed by the step only, -1. Usually write -1. So in that scenario, when you don't write the start index, when you don't write the end index, just write the step which is -1, then it will automatically reverse the entire one. Like you will see here, let's see how it happens. X square braces, I forgot to write the X outside the bracket, that's why it was not working. Yeah, exactly, the reverse. So exclamation REYBHCETDE. That means you can read it like a mirror reflection. Instead of reading from left to right as we normally do, here you can read from right to left, and this result is the same. edtech by Meera if you read from left to right. So that is the reversing the string. Reversing it, reading the string from right to left. Like instead of Meera from left to right, it's from instead of reading meera from left to right, from right to left is areem, AREEM. So that is the reverse order. Just consider one more example before we leave off. You can also consider the example of hello world, which is much more simpler, just to give you an idea. Or you can just say hello, you can just say hi. If, for example, hello, it will be same thing. If you reverse, what happens? It will become ole, right? H. And then you have to read it from the reverse direction. Very funny, right? So let's consider the string called hello world in caps, hello space world. So in caps I'm writing so that it becomes much more clearer to you. Yeah, and then the result same, no need of the start and end I don't write, I just say the step -1. There you go. Funny, huh? DLROWOLLEH, and when you read it from the reverse direction, it is hello world, but in the opposite direction when you read it from right to left. So see you. Keep subscribed or smash that subscribe button. In part 2, I will explain the same thing manually on a drawing paper so that it will be drilled into your memory and you will never forget it. See you in the next. Remember to smash that subscribe button. Stay subscribed. See you in the next part 2. This one is part 1 of string slicing in Python.